Hey everybody, Crazy Fisherman here, and we've got a crazy mod for you today with the Intex K1 inflatable. I've been fishing with this inflatable for about a year now, and I gotta say, it's been a great mode of kayak transportation that I can fit in my trunk. Along with that, I've got a waterproof liner, which works well to repel the water from getting into the carpet in the car, you know. 'Cause I don't really want to go with the on-top rack sort of deal. Obviously, this is what I'm working with, so we're doing a trunk situation with the kayak. So, all right, let's get to it. They all need to have like kind of an abrasive feel to them so that the glue can stick properly. And as you can see right here, the way these were manufactured is they're really slick. So we basically want a surface that's going to grab the glue, soak it in, hold on to it. So two things we're going to be using today: just a regular drill. Most people have that. You can use sandpaper or a brick outside that's, you know, porous and will scrape well. And just take your little mount, you know, go outside, rub it on a rock or whatever if you want to, or go ahead and use one of these wire wheels, and I definitely recommend this. And work along the outside. As you can see, it's making roughness. So and that's that. So I'm going to do that for the next 4 mounts, and then we'll go ahead and check out, you know, our mounting locations and then rough. First, we got to put this thing together, and this is the only instructions that you get. We want to put it together first so that we can line it up on the kayak and see about our mounting points. Step 1, we've got our mounting bars and the rear brackets. We just need to find a single hole on one end of the mounting bar. On the other end, there's 2 holes. We're going to find a single, insert that in, and now we need to connect the rest. All right, so we've got the mounting plate, and it looks like this is the back piece right here. So this is going to be facing the back, behind the kayak, out that way. This is towards the kayak with the waffly edge, and the small waffle edge goes towards the out. Rear. And here we have 4 of these U-bolts. All right, we've got all 4 points screwed in. I went ahead and loosened them up a little bit so that you could move each hole. All right, now that we have everything together, we have all the mounts on, and everything's lined up, we can start to think about our mounting points and where we're going to glue them. And this is pretty much my mock-up on where they're going to be located. So let's take a look from the back first. Our mounting points are going to be pretty much somewhere around here for the upper parts. And we want it above this line, this crack down here, because that's a pretty good indent, which might affect the mounting because we need a fairly flat spot. And the side here is basically the best that I could come up with. You couldn't put it next to this or up ahead of that because it just won't reach that far. So right here is about where we're gonna glue it. We're gonna have to sand a little bit, create a rough. We can have some binding with this that we've roughened up. All right, we still haven't made our marks yet, but we've come in to one issue with the provided hardware. The mounting points will all come with these. So now, blocks. With this block removed, we have extra space, room under here. And it's okay to have that bolt exposed because you can just slide your mount down. And it's now middle circle right there. Represents the middle of the mounting board. And this represents the middle of the kayak. Just make sure that those are aligned. And as long as those two are aligned in some way, and that these are in their correct spots, as well as the other side in their correct spots. Once everything is in its alignment, then we can start tracing our patches. All right, so that took some effort. I was holding it pretty much like this, and once I got all my mounting locations, I ended up with what you see here to give you an idea. So basically, directly under this patch is my rear, this one. All right, as you see here, this is a non-sanded surface, and then inside my circle, this is a sanded surface. I didn't sand too much, I just made some tiny grooves in there, and overall, to me, to the eye, it doesn't look as shiny, and that's kind of what I'm going for. Didn't want to sand too much. You can tell that there's a semi, like a grain, and I didn't even go through most of the grain on here. I just made it kind of, it's not slick to the touch anymore. Here's what we're using. This is HH66, super strong, waterproof, flexible bonds for vinyl coated and vinyl laminate fabrics. Highly resistant to temperature and weather extremes, excellent for patching and sealing. Originally bought this to repair a Zodiac, and like I showed you with the two skegs that I patched underneath, I've had no issues with it. It's super strong. So we've gone ahead and sanded our patch points on all four sides, and we're going to make a simple light coat on each point, each patch, and each surface area, and we're going to let those dry. Just a thin layer, just a nice happy layer. Happy Bob Ross layer of glue. Just paint it on there and have a good time with it. Oh, if you don't know who Bob Ross is, he's an excellent painter. I learned all my skills from him. So this has some MEK and acetone in it and stuff, so it's got prepping agents built into the glue. It's pretty nice. So now that I am sure that I've made a nice clean layer across the whole surface, yeah, that looks fine. We can go on to the next one. nice and saturated. But just a nice little layer. And that's going to help our bonding. Alright, we're going to let these sit for about 4 or 5 minutes. I've coated all of these very lightly. And all the points very lightly. Gonna allow that to dry for about 5 minutes. All on. That was a little bit difficult because I had to put the mount on it and then see where these would all line up based on the mount. And I made a few marks because, as you can see here, up close maybe, there's these lines. I use those for markers, and I just made a arrow at each marker where those lines needed to meet. I got pretty close. I eventually had to move some of the patches around while they were still wet so that I could get the correct angles for, I had to adjust, along the way. So if you do have to lift up the patches during any adjustments in the final round of gluing, then you're going to want to re-wet each patch with a thin layer of the glue because it has. Alright, so you have about 24 hours before everything is about dry, and then you can put your mounts back up, hook everything up, screw it back in, whatnot, and get it out on the water and go have fun. Now in our next video, I'm going to show you me actually scooting around in it and a few maneuvering tips. Right off the bat, you might not have any switches or anything like that, or any fancy techniques to operating the electric, because it's right behind you. It's a little bit weird to like turn and press on the button and adjust it and whatnot. As far as steering and whatnot, if you wanted to do that, there is an extendable arm on Amazon that also has a U-joint or a joint on it, so that you could have the handle out in front of you more as to the side, and that would help with steering. But you don't need that. What I did in the next video, as you'll see, it's pointed straight on with the kayak so that you're just propelling straight on forward. And what I did to turn was either use my paddles to turn left or right. You can dip one in the water and then you turn right, dip it in the left, you turn left. And then to disengage the power, my electric motor, has the clamps. I think they all do. I just took off the clamp and then my power was gone. If I needed power, I put the clamp back on and then boom, I had power again. So it was really simple. I didn't need any switches or anything like that. You could probably make something like that, but I'm gonna leave that to you. This is the Crazy Fisherman. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please watch our other fishing videos. We got bass videos in Washington, beautiful places, techniques for local fishing in Washington. Thanks for watching. Oh, you gotta see me fall off a kayak. It's kind of funny. I was standing up in my inflatable K1. Hey, you can do it. But I started running out of air in it. It got a little soft and I set the hook and I'll let you watch it. Alright, see you guys.